You're not tuning in with BG from your mobile device, airways, or maybe even your TV. Yeah. The real, the fake, the money, the power, respect. Even tough tops that might just leave you upset. The old, the young, that talk out the side of their neck. What separates just being good from the best? I did what I did, so I really don't have no regrets. Maybe real estate, cause we got a lot to address. Giving people their flowers before they get put to rest. If we disagree, just know that I still want you blessed.
Hey, Dad.
What's up?
What we talking about?
All right, let's get it. We back. Hey, y'all, episode 24, BG. What we talking about? This is the Kobe episode 24. Y'all, hey, speaking of Kobe, y'all seen that Kobe doc on Max?
I have not. I've seen it on there, but I haven't watched it. I got it on my Max.
I didn't know it was out. I got something to watch now.
I just haven't took the time to sit back and watch it yet.
Chip, I didn't know it was out either. My homeboy was like, "Hey, you watched the Kobe doc on Max?" I was like, "When it come out?" He was like, "I think it came out this week." So I checked it out. It was real good,
last week, actually, yeah. Because I just haven't took the time to sit there and be like, I'm gonna stop trying to hit people up to try to see if I can get some content and actually watch it.
I loved it, but episode 2, man, I'm gonna let y'all. I'm gonna warn y'all early. Episode 2, Episode 2 was 100% about the Colorado incident. And with all of the stuff they said, it don't make me look at Kobe no different way because, I mean, you were never proven guilty. But the way it was laid out on the show, they put everything out there. And
it looked like the money just covered it up.
No.
That BG's face agreed with that statement.
We'll revisit. I'll say this. I'm going to leave this in the episode. But what I want you to do is when you get a chance to watch it, I want you to tell me how episode 2 made you feel. It doesn't make me feel a way about Kobe. It was just, damn, I wish they didn't put as much as they put in episode 2 to kind of make people think.
I think that's bogus. First off, I'm old enough to remember the case. I remember what happened and what was the outcome. Like, it was consensual. So,
look, everything I
remember from I remember AI did some sucker stuff behind that.
I don't even want to talk about that part.
Coach said he even know AI went out of the character we know of AI to do what he did on that.
Everything that I felt when it happened, though, Chip, I'm not saying my opinion changed, but they gave me a little bit more information in the doc. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to spoil it. And I'm not going to say, oh, it's going to make you look at Kobe different, because it doesn't make me look at Kobe any different.
No.
But I did watch and say, damn, man, I
hate when we
look at this and start saying, well, that's y'all guy. That's one of y'all greats. That's who we mourning. Yes, that's who we mourning.
Man, I hate when we die.
It's a lot of extra stuff, man.
I hate when we die. They bring out some documentary.
You know that's what they love to do. That's what they love to do.
Come on, bro. Like, I ain't trying to hear that.
We've talked about that for months, Chip. Me and you have had conversations about that for months.
So I don't even pay that no mind.
Because BG, I ain't gonna go too deep into the guy because we know, even though both me and you, we didn't agree that. No, yo, pause.
Yeah.
Let's stop right there.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not gonna go too far into talking about that guy. That's better.
There you go.
But we know, me and you agree that he's not crazy. He knows what he's doing. So I think you know where I'm going. Kanye, he said that though. He said, "Why is it whenever one of these people die, we like to bring out the dirt on them? Why y'all didn't say nothing?" So that goes into that subject, like you just said, Coach. Like every time a polarizing figure in the African American or Hispanic community dies, they find a way to, in their documentary or their books or whatever it is, they bring up something about. Well, we had this going on,
and I couldn't believe it because the documentary was really good. Please don't think this is me saying it was bad.
No, I'm definitely gonna check it out now. I'm gonna make time.
But episode 2, I was like, man, why they trying? Come on, y'all ain't had to put all this extra sauce on
through the mud on that. You remember, and if you really remember, he used to come from the court dates. That's when he was dropping 50s. He used to come right from the court dates to the court and drop 50. He did it for like 2 weeks straight.
That was the beautiful thing. That was one of the beautiful things about the documentary. They showed that process as well. Like he was literally coming from there, going straight there, and locking in.
The resilience, like I said, I'm old enough to remember. I remember vividly.
The one thing I will say about it though is when they brought it into the episode, it was more to show what fueled Kobe into creating the Black Mamba.
Yeah, right.
The hate that he was receiving during that, it was like they were building up. Well, this is what was going on, and that's what created the Black Mamba. Right. The hate that he was receiving during that time. But we talk about a guy that didn't go to college, and we just got to watch an outstanding 3 weeks of basketball, man.
Especially last weekend.
I thoroughly enjoyed March Madness this year. I'm gonna be honest. I enjoyed the female side a little more. I knew I would enjoy the female side a little more, but I will say the boys side did not disappoint, man. Where y'all want to start? Tell me if y'all want to start girls or boys.
Let's start girls so we can go ahead and get my homegirl Dawn out the way. Golly, that hurt me so bad seeing that Sunday. I said, holy shit.
So we just gonna go straight to Final Four. We're not gonna cover the whole tournament. We're gonna cover the Final Four. Number 1 seed UCLA, number 2 seed UConn, number 1 seed South Carolina, and number 1 seed Texas were in the Final Four. And man, oh man, let's
Page F and Bucket.
Let's go to the first game first. So the first game, UCLA was your choice, right, Chip? Come on, you're documented, well documented who your choice going in was, right?
Oh no, excuse me. I told you I was doing multiple brackets. And my best bracket, just to let y'all know, 97.6 UConn. And for the boys, I picked Florida, 94.9. My bracket. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
You lucky I don't got my soundboard up here because I was going to say stop the cap. Yes, you may have had a lot of brackets, and yes, I had a lot of brackets. I had brackets that had UConn winning, but on BG, what we talking about? You got in front of this camera, and you said I'm taking UCLA. You did agree with me and said I'm rocking with Dawn, but you said I'm taking UCLA. So
you got me on record now. I said if UCLA can avoid playing USC in this conference, in this tournament at all, they was going to win the national championship.
So although you may have had a great bracket on this platform,
I don't recall.
It don't matter about what you put in the computer.
I don't know what you're talking about. I know.
He said fake news.
I know. My bracket was popping all weekend. My bracket was popping.
So, go ahead.
And hey, look, man, hats off to both teams and both programs, and hats off to the women's game right now. Like, it's a fantastic time to be a college student, a college athlete. I was a former college athlete, and I'm telling you, it was nothing better when I used to be in those classes and having a debate on should college kids get paid. Like, we used to have to debate that, right? It was a psychology of sport class. And it's nothing better right now for me than to see these kids getting paid. And for the young women out there, like, this is an exciting time. Like, everybody panicking over, the portal. And I feel like, listen, you got to understand that everybody is about to put themselves in position.
You went right to where I wanted you to go to, Coach.
They put themselves in position.
Women's basketball.
Yeah, so when we played, the Final Four was live. And I'm looking forward to the future. And UConn put on a show. Sarah Strong.
That goes without saying that UConn put on a show. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just wanted to start with the beginning of the Final Four.
Yeah.
UCLA was the #1 overall seed.
Yeah.
They did not look like they belonged on the court with UConn.
Man.
Nah, UConn dusted him off. I ended up turning the game off. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
The crazy part was, and that's what I mean when I was right there on Sarah Strong, man. If y'all don't know who she is, I have not seen a dominance performance like that since Tim Duncan. Like somebody who dominated as a freshman like that since Tim Duncan. And that was a better version of Tim Duncan. She was passing. She was inside. She was outside. She was rebounding. And then she was clamping up on defense. Like they was just, the whole team was just a beauty to watch. Like that's how you're supposed to be when you get to March. And they had everything you need. They had toughness. They had grit. You know, we from Philly, BG. You know, you need grit. Like we got to see the grit. I seen the grit. The Egyptian girl had grit.
She was cooking.
She cooking on defense. I'm watching her box out every possession. Like I'm just being a coach. Like hold up, I'm looking at coach pointers. Like yo, who boxing out? Who going for the loose ball? They on every loose ball. That the what I like more than anything, besides Ezzy Fudd just showing that she was just dominant. I like how they kept their composure no matter what. They facial expression. Notice we ain't even talk about Paige yet. The facial expressions of they just knew they wanted to kick butt, and I just appreciated watching that.
But the thing is, I don't think they were challenged at all past the Elite Eight. They won their first round game by 70. Well, 69. Yeah. They won their first round game by 70, basically.
Yeah.
And it just kept getting like they look like a well-oiled machine. So you say they facial expressions, they never faltered. They didn't seem to face any adversity. And when you thought they would face adversity in the Final Four and the national championship, they stood tall and showed that championship pedigree. And that's not to say that Dawn and them didn't have championship pedigree, that UCLA didn't have championship pedigree. But UConn was on a mission. Paige was on a mission this year after her exit last year, after her being injured the year before. Paige was on a mission this year. And Sarah Strong, to me, Sarah Strong was the best player on the floor. But Paige Becker was obviously the head of the snake for the entire season and led that team to a place where every woman wish they could be right now. National champions, man. I was happy to see Paige get one, man. I was happy to see her get one.
She deserved it. She deserved it. She earned it, and she's gonna be the #1 pick next year. And sky's the limit for her.
No. She's gonna be the #1 pick in 5 days.
Yeah. That's
the draft be so fast after they win a natty, dog.
And this is a wild time for women's sports, women basketball. And you know, today I was on the phone with a coach. I don't want to put nobody out there. One of my sources, and I'm talking about big time at that. And I was just asking the question. I was like, you know, is anybody right now in college, female, worth $1 million in NIL?
Juju
for sure, without question. Juju probably worth about like 3 or 4, if you ask me.
Easy, right? So, but we talking about right now in the portal.
Tanaya, let me say her name right.
Latson.
Tanaya Latson. That's going to South Carolina.
She's going to South Carolina.
Hey, no one said running back.
Right.
That's why I was waiting for y'all to finish cooking, so I could be like, Dawn, I gotta grind you up, but I can still give you some praise at the end.
No, Dawn said running back. She said, we did reinforcements now. Let's go.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, so even with that move, right? Even with that move, it got me thinking. Okay, so you bring in Tanaya, and I happen to know Tanaya. I've been to, like I said, Florida State is one of the places I love taking my kids. We go down there. We travel 4 hours to go watch Florida State play these last 4 years. So I got time to spend time with her. I even take my kids down to their team camp. But it got me thinking, like, all right, so what about Tessa? You know, Tessa at South Carolina, she coming off the bench. She worth $1 million right now. What if she asked for $1 million?
I think she's 6 figures. M though.
M.
See, and this is why I can have this conversation, because when you think of women's basketball, and not even just women's, college basketball, NIL deals, I sort of compare them to with the boxers for what they be asking for when they set themselves into the fights. It's sort of like, a lot of times, it should go off their rankings and their stats and all that. But if we're being real, BG's the one that says it a lot. It goes off your marketability. I'm gonna pay you based off of who knows you and who don't know you. If I can sell you,
and that's the thing.
Hence why I said something that might have been blasphemous to my homeboy earlier. We was talking, and I said, "Dog, Angel Reese is the face of the WNBA. She's not the best player. She's not even a top 5 player. She's not even a top 10 player.
She's
but you don't see anybody's face from the WNBA more than Angel Reese.
Okay, because her marketing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So to Smitty's point of it's about what dollars can you bring us as well? You can't
hold on.
say that I'm good at basketball.
Nah, hold on. But we talking about college. College is where you build your platform. Angel Reese is that famous because in college she got famous, and now they had to put money into her, and she was marketable, and everybody loved her. Tessa is the same way. College is the same way. College, you have to invest in the kid. So this is why we had this conversation. So we have this conversation. I said, you will never know if you don't ask. You got to be willing to ask. If you're going to reset the market, you have to be willing. You can't just go in there and settle. The women got to go in and ask. Yes, she's worth $1 million, bro. A freshman can come in, if a high school freshman can come in and get close to $1 million, the number 1 freshman, guess what? Tessa has a national championship. She was already a top-ranked player. She can go get $1 million. She should ask.
Probably from another school.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what you was leaning to.
No, I'm talking about putting herself in position, going somewhere and yeah. You can't be afraid to do that, nor can you knock that. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the time. And now when you really look at things, the WNBA is talking about locking out, which means they don't have a real market of what raise. All they saying is we want a raise. They ain't giving them a number of what the raise is. So a college girl has to set the whole market. Somebody got to be bold enough to say, I want $1 million. On a call, somebody asked for 300,000, and I'm like, 300,000? Dang. The top freshman boy, high school boy, gonna get $7 million next year, and y'all scared to ask for $1 million?
Who, Cayenne? That's how you name his name.
Cayenne? No, AJ Batista. I don't know how you say his name. I don't know how you say his last name. It's AJ though. He going to BYU.
I know you're talking about. I'm on your side, Chip, but I'm not on your side. Hear me out. I'm on your side because I think that's the smart thing to do. That's the right thing to do. But then I also look at it and say, a school is going to offer a top D1 male recruit that number because they feel as though that male recruit is going to bring in the revenue as well. And this is, please don't think, you know how I feel about women's sports. I'm right there with you as far as wanting to elevate it. But I do realize that they're just not generating the same dollars that the males are. So yes, they should be able to ask for a bigger number than what they're getting. 100% I agree with that. But it's hard for them to go. I don't want to say it's hard for them to go in there and ask for a big number, but how do you go to the negotiation table with a huge number when there's no facts to prove that that is worth it? A team like UConn can say, well, more than likely, Gino gonna bring enough people here that we're gonna win. South Carolina, UCLA, USC's, but like, how does female BYU get a player to go there? They're going to spend $1 million on this one player that nobody's probably going to watch. That's the only reason I'm saying it. Because as much as I know women's basketball is growing, as much as I'm going to watch no matter what, I do still realize that a lot of people aren't watching. So how
Oh, a
am I
lot of
gonna?
people watching. That's why they're getting their own networks. A lot
A
of people
lot of
watching.
people are watching. The number's still not high enough. The national championship lost 10 million followers 2 nights ago. 10 million from last year when Caitlyn was there. Caitlyn was just there and it was at a number. It dropped 10 million.
Hey, let me tell you
That's
something.
not me saying that women's basketball is failing. I'm just telling you.
I'm just telling you.
Not as many people as we want it to be.
Listen what I'm saying. At the end of the day, them schools gonna figure it out. It ain't the kids' job to figure it out. It ain't their job to figure it out. Their job is to get compensated fairly for what they do. You understand me? So you need to know the value, and you want the girls. Listen to me, ladies. You want them. Hey, you have to know your value, your worth. If you don't know your worth, you can't expect the world to know your worth. Your worth.
But I don't understand what their value. What would the number 24 team in the country's best players go to the table and say, "I bring this value"? What?
So all right, remember what you said. So number 24. So the number 24 team in the country, a lot of times was Florida State. So that girl Tanaya Lanson that you talking about, yeah, she came. Yeah, exactly. She put her numbers to the table and say, "Look, I'm worth this. I need this," and they got it done, right?
They got it done in South Carolina. I'm asking you, how does a school like BYU get an amazing girl? Yes, they just got one of the best boys in the country.
Right.
But how do they get an amazing girl?
Well, first of all,
I just feel like NIL is just going to stack the good schools.
Well, the school. Listen, what's the whole purpose of being a college if you ain't creative? It's supposed to be higher learning. Y'all know how to. They know how to get money. Come on, man.
I agree with you, Chip, but it's just like I get what BG's saying. It's because it's like the like what you're saying is true, but they've been trying to figure it out.
They have not been trying to get it out. I don't want to say they've been trying.
And now they got 10 million less.
You can't look at it like that. You can't look at it like they've been trying. Okay, you can't look at it like that because. I mean, you could do the history of college, like what they was trying to do. They've been always making money and doing things.
Nah, damn right.
So all right, so this is all
money. I'm always pro athletes.
So all I'm saying to you is, in this situation, if the women want to be taken seriously, you have to go in there in a serious manner. And I'm telling you this out of experience of how I had to negotiate a contract. And you just got to be willing to stand down 10 toes. Like I said, you won't know unless you ask.
But I don't think there's any top 50 high school or college player that's not going in there and asking for their worth. But they getting turned down a lot on the female side simply because they just not.
Like I said, you had a high school girl ask for $1 million. You had a high school freshman ask for $1 million.
They are getting their bags, but not in abundance like the boys because they're not.
Oh, I ain't now that part I ain't debating. I'm not debating that part.
So only part I don't want to say I'm debating it, but the only reason I brought that up because you said, well, he just went in there and asked for $7 million. Y'all don't think y'all can ask for $1 million? I don't think we can compare what the boys are asking for compared to what the females are asking for. I don't think that number will ever be equal because the revenue that they bring in.
That's not what I was trying to do. I wasn't even trying to compare the two. I don't like to do that. However, what I was saying is basically like, bruh, you don't sell yourself short on it. You have to understand your value. If you're not going to understand your value in college, you definitely ain't going to understand it in the W. You have to go through this stuff now. So the only way you're going to get it is look at what everybody else do to reset the market. Look at what NFL running backs had to do and look what they did to reset the market. They wanted to raise. This is what they did. They did X, Y, Z, and when they did it, they resetted the market. I want this much money. You don't get it unless you ask. And when you ask, somebody going to do it, and then you reset the market. That's how it happens.
You're talking about a market whose bottom line always go higher though. I want the W and I want women's NCAA basketball to be on that level to be able to do that. I just don't know if they're there yet. Hear my word yet, though, Chip. I know it's coming. Please don't think this is me saying it ain't ever going to happen. I do know.
I ain't even gonna tell you what you sound like when you sit there. I don't want nobody to get mad at me. I don't want nobody to get mad at me when I say stuff like that. Like, but ain't no waiting. You don't be waiting. You know, one of the most saddest moments of me in college was when my grandmother passed. I wasn't able to buy her house. And her house went she was the head of our family, right? And I was pissed. Like, I remember being pissed. It was my senior year. And, like, I had to check out for a second. My coach tried to talk to me one time. I remember saying, man, do it like I even give a damn about basketball right now? Like, do I? And just left it at that. Like, bro, don't talk to me. Like, don't talk to me about effort and all of that. You know what I mean? Like, I got other issues on my mind.
That shit don't matter to me at all right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? At all. Like, so when we get to this part, right, and I see the evolution of the game, it is what it is. It's the game. So now it's business. So if it's business, ain't nothing personal about nothing. You have to go ask. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not telling them not to ask. I just understand the wall that they've been hit with for years.
Absolutely.
I understand it. I'm not saying it's right, but I do understand it.
Yeah. You know, just talking like I was talking to my homeboy and we were just talking about basketball. Like, why is the women's game going way harder than the boys? And I want to get on that because last night the boys' game.
I don't want to cut you off, but I'm gonna cut you off because I argue this with people all the time, and I be getting mad at them about laughing at me for going and watching girls basketball every season, right? You know why it's going harder? Because women have I forgot the saying you old heads like to use, but they got a chip on their shoulder. They got don't take it offensive, D. Just it's an old head saying. They got a chip on their shoulder. Women for one are trying to get that bag. So when you're trying to get that bag, you're going to work a little harder. And in women's case, they're going to work a lot harder because they've been trying to get that bag. Boys, seeing men's basketball players.
Boys are entitled.
Yeah, and there you go, BG. Men are spoiled. Men football players, men basketball players, men athletes in general are spoiled brats. They get the bag before it's done. Women have to actually fight for their bag, and they still don't get the bag.
I'm not going to go as far as to say that they spoil you, brats.
Nah, they spoiled. I'm going to say it. I'll go on record. Men have to spoiled.
I'm not. And
if you got a problem with it, you don't.
No, I'm going to explain.
The elephant in the room.
I'm going to explain. But you are right, absolutely 1,000% correct, that the girls are fighting for way more. And you have no idea how much they are held back. You have no idea at the young age, at high school. You have no idea how many high schools take their funding and put it to their boys' funding.
And the team might be trash.
And hold the girls back. You have no idea. And I know this. I know this for sure. Like, I know this. Like, I know the things that I had to go through just being a woman's coach. Like, yo, they go through a lot, right? Because they are fighting for more. They are fighting hard for every nook, right? And that's why I say, like, you can't be afraid to ask. See, the boys, yeah, you can say they entitled. The men, they entitled this and the third. And the ones that paved the way for them, they getting it. But see, now they've been getting it now. They realize that it's just a business and it's a game that they still control. So they just like, it's whatever. They more like it's whatever.
Because they already got their bag.
So I don't get mad. I'm not mad at them when they get like that because it's like what you want them to do when y'all going to do what y'all going to do in this game anyway. It's WWE.
Yep. You gave them the money before they put in the work. So this is what
and that's the thing. That's the thing is a slight difference because they're getting approached with these bags. You heard what you just said had to happen, Chip?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask. The girls got to go into these rooms and ask. They got to go into these companies. They got to go to these alumni. They got to go to these graduates of the school to see what type of bags they can get from them. The boys is getting offered these shit as soon as they walk on the campus for their senior visit. That's the difference. They not even having to ask.
Well.
Well, I said, remember what me and SMITTY said about 3 minutes ago? They spoiled. They entitled because they're given. But they're not having to go to these tables and ask. But they do have to negotiate. Once they get to the table, they might have said $1 million when they asked me, but I want 1.3. They may have to ask for a higher number, but the girls got to ask to even be seen.
No, see, the boys, you gotta understand. The men was the ones who brought it to the table already. The men was already the ones who've been fighting for it already for years. They already.
What? That can't be true because NCAA created NIL, not just men's sports. So you can't say it was just the men. The women were fighting too. It's just they weren't the most boisterous.
No, what I'm saying is, all right. So like the O'Bannon brothers. Mm-hmm. So when they had the video game,
we the same age. Don't forget.
Yeah. So they the ones who they started the. They started the whole. They came together and brought everybody. Like we want to get paid off of the game, and Name Like an Image came from that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody got on board. Like, oh, so this is what the settlement is supposed to come out Monday. I think it's supposed to come out like next Monday. They all waiting on this ruling, on this new ruling. It's supposed to be like billions of dollars supposed to be settled out for past. I think it said something like past, future, and present, something like crazy like that. I don't even know what that means. I'm sitting there like, yo, am I gonna get some money? Like, I wonder, am I gonna get some money? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was on a video game.
I'm telling myself, I was in college during them times.
Yes, I was. I was hooping. I was hooping. This is why I love it so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, as we about to get into this Final Four talk, like, I enjoy college. I don't ever want to be looked at like I'm complaining or anything. College changed my life. Like, you know where I'm from. Like, you know where I'm from. So to experience college, to get to experience college like I did, I just know the path, and I knew the business stuff that I had to go through. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I know these kids are ahead now, and we want to make sure I just want to see them be compensated fairly, and I want to see them continue to grow the game to another level. So for that to happen, like, we have to see the involvement of the women's game. We have to see it. It just has to happen. Especially, I'm here for it. I just tell you, the time is now. Like, the time is always. What she say on the Great Debaters? The time is always right now.
I got a homeboy that tells me to this day. He said, "Dawg, you can't tell me the WNBA good, BG." I said, "It is though." No, it ain't. He's like, "I watch college girls, but he's like the WNBA trash." I'm like, "Dawg, you can't tell me that." No, it's the same players that you just told me was good in college.
Yeah, no, they good. They're being able to be around the NBA game so long. When you know the history of it, you see the girls, the women's game, right at the mark of when they was playing then. You know what I'm saying? And you just see the hiccups that they got to go through too, the changes that they got to go through in every level. When you watching the Dawn Staley team, the game has changed now. Dawn used to have the bigs. It's not about just the bigs. You need the guards to go with it. They got to be able to play too. And you seen that they couldn't adapt to that. And when they couldn't adapt, it got ugly. So the whole style got to change now. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Smitty.
I mean, this is my thing, right? Dawn, I'm going to speak on Dawn, man. Dawn, y'all broke my heart and I almost cried Sunday afternoon. Like, I almost literally shed tears Sunday afternoon. Dawn,
really?
I thought about the little basketball camp from back in the days. I thought of everything. It's like, you know, when you see an idol of yours just getting their head beat, and you like, damn. You know how you old heads felt when y'all seen Mike get to the end of his career? How y'all felt when Mike Tyson finally lost?
Hey, y'all. I don't know if y'all noticed all y'all old head slander that SMITTY keeps throwing at me and Chip. This is called ageism. You're making us feel bad because we live to see 42. It's not my fault. I hope you make it here one day, Smitty. I'm gonna bring you back, but you're gonna stop talking about us being. You know how y'all old heads.
Oh, I apologize, good brothers. They not old, y'all. They just got extra gray.
See, he's trying to act like, see, y'all can't tell in the camera. He ain't got his 4K camera on today, but he got a lot of grays in his beard too. Just be clear.
Right.
I know you.
He got that beige gene going.
And two of them teams in the back at B Jizzle's background. Who one of them I actually took off my wall when I finally seen that I don't want to get off subject, but I'm gonna get off subject for a few seconds just so people know. I had put up a whole bunch of my sixes at the time. Then when these fools 2 weeks ago decided to finally announce that B was getting surgery, I said, yeah, enough is enough for right now. I can't deal with two
our emotions.
Organizations. Like, don't play with me right now, Josh Harris. Don't play with me. But anyways, back to the regular subject, right? Because Josh Harris is a sensitive subject right now. Dawn, that hurt. But Dawn made up for it by bringing in, I don't want to pronounce her name wrong. Let me pronounce this young lady's name. How you say it again, Chip?
Lotson.
There you go.
Lotson,
the number one scorer in D1 basketball for women from Florida State, brought her in. So that was a good way for Dawn to let it know. I'll be back.
Moving right on. That's what she said.
Gilly made a post earlier. I don't know if both of y'all seen it. What Gilly and Wallow was talking about, telling some of the parents, he was like, some of y'all parents need to leave y'all kids in jail when they get booked. I mean, because if they sit in there for a little while, they'll realize them. That's what Dawn said basically in her press conference. She said they needed to get their heads cracked real quick. They needed that feeling real quick of getting your ass whooped and losing. So that crying, all that national embarrassment where people about to make memes out of y'all because y'all was crying. Now y'all gonna know how that feel, and next year you gonna come out fine.
They'll be back for sure.
We're gonna see.
One thing I got two final questions for y'all on the girls' side.
Shoot.
Conversations I had today. One, all-time coaching period. Coaching. Just
Gino,
coaching.
without a doubt. Gino, he took over Pat.
Hold on. No, hear me. Wait, I ain't even asked the question yet.
Okay, go ahead.
I ain't even talking about college, Smitty.
Oh.
Coaching. Did he just cement himself?
The greatest women's coach ever?
Did he just cement himself on the coaching Mount Rushmore? Not NFL coaches, not college coaches, not NBA. Coach, period.
Oh.
This is his 12th championship in 40 years. He's been to 24 Final Fours.
He's also put
I'm
out.
going to say that one more time. He has had. Don't start talking about that yet. That's my next question. Gino Auriemma may have just guaranteed that his face will forever be on the coaching Mount Rushmore, yo. Sorry. This includes NFL. This includes NBA. This guy has coached for 40 years at one university. They never won before him. They won 14 times with him. They've been to the Final Four 24 times with him. I'm sorry, not 14 times. I apologize. He has 12 rings. He has 12 championships, but he's been to the Final Four 24 times, yo.
Yeah, I just say, if we had to think of it,
Dean Smith ain't did that.
No.
Coach K ain't did that.
No.
Coach K.
Coach K resume ain't better than Gino's.
Not at all.
Coach K don't even got 5 championships.
Roy Williams only got 5 resume. Bob Knight.
Coach K got all 5 of those. Though.
Yes.
Yeah, Coach K got 5. He got
5. 5 ain't more than 12.
5 ain't 12. But he went to 24 Final Fours, Chip.
Yeah, but at the same time, not
24 tournaments. Not 24 tournaments. 24 Final Fours.
Hey, Chip, Coach. He also done helped bring out some of the greatest players: Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, my all-time favorite, Maya Moore, Brianna Stewart.
So who goes on that? Who goes on that Mount Rushmore? So are we seeing Belichick go on there?
He should, but his is questionable because people didn't. Because when Brady left and still won,
that don't mean nothing.
Basically,
that don't mean nothing.
I don't think he can win without me.
No,
He still won
he
without
won before Tom Brady.
He didn't win nothing before Tom.
Yes, he did. He was coaching with the Giants. He won 2 with Lawrence Taylor.
But he was the assistant.
I think 3 coaches are cemented. I currently have Gino. I have Phil.
Phil
Jackson?
Phil Jackson, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Phil Jackson, most definitely. He definitely on there.
And Belichick.
Okay.
I think those 3 have to be there, y'all. There's only 4 names.
So now you're forgetting John Wooden.
John Wooden might have to be the 4th. But how can I put anybody above those 4? Is what I'm saying. I don't think we can argue anybody else.
Popovich?
Yeah, I'm about to say
he might be on the outside looking in. 40 years and 12 championships, y'all. Who's going to get... All right, let's just say Popovich comes in. Who falls out? Phil? Because I don't think we're giving Pop the nod over Phil, are we? Are we? If we are, then that's cool. But I don't know. Phil had 2 dynasties. He did a dynasty with the Bulls twice, and then he had one with the Lakers. I'm saying I don't think certain people can be moved.
Phil Jackson is definitely up there. I give you Phil.
So if Phil's there. I think we say Belichick. All agree. Everybody agree Belichick.
I'm iffy about Belly. I ain't gonna lie. I'm iffy.
Then you forgetting Dean Smith. I don't know, bro. Like I think
he doesn't have
Dean
enough championship. Like how can I say? How can I say that my coach is a better coach than Gino when they both coached a long ass time, pretty much their whole adult lives, and one has 12 championships and the other has 3?
Well, I mean, it's. I don't want to say that it is harder to win in the men's league.
It is. That is not disrespectful to the women's side, but there was a point in time where their championships were only going through UConn and Tennessee. UConn.
Yeah. That's why I said.
So there was a big gap where he had all the talent. So I get why he has.
Yeah, like, but
12, dog.
But he has some serious dominance, and I don't want to argue it because his performance that he put on was legendary. But it's just the fact that the game is so young, he could be caught. He could be caught. You know what I'm saying? Like Dawn is really right there. With Dawn got 3. Well, shit, we got 3 already. Like it can happen. Like she can go on her run. Like I know 12 is a long time.
Like damn,
they was getting to
it, and especially because of the transfer portal. I think the one thing I do like about the transfer portal is I think it's gonna give us a different champion every year, a different Final Four every year, maybe a different Elite 8 every year. So I like that. I think championships will be spread out a little more than they were in the 90s and early 2000s, where we only saw really 2-3 teams winning championships. You know what I mean?
I believe so too, and I think you're going to see the dominance of coaching. You're going to see who culture really works.
There you go. You're not going to see the dominance of coaching. You're going to see the dominance of coaching, and you're going to see who can't coach. You're also going to see bad coaching. People who just hide behind talent.
You see that every year. But I will say, like, the culture matters. The culture matters, and you're going to see the best of the best players now. And you still going to get the mid-majors watch. You're going to see some talented mid-major teams that's going to get some kids that got to go a different path, and they're going to come up and compete. Everybody is about to get better. I believe that. Like, it's so much talent out here that you're going to see people get better. And I'm not even flinching on it. I think about this all the time. You know, when you think about dudes in the NBA, and I think about myself, bro, like, I got game, bro. I got serious game. Serious game. And I'm not in the NBA, bro. So that's how I know, like, the talent is really, 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 really good. Like, and so you just got to let things play how they play. And speaking of which, if we're talking about the boys' game, in which I feel like they're going to marginalize that, but that game was so hard played.
Let's not get there. You think that that coaching question was hard? I got a harder question for you, yo. Who's on the UConn?
Maya Moore is on there, guarantee. I know that.
No. Wait, before you say that, there are 3 people that can't be moved off of it.
I know 2 of them. I got to think of who the third is. I know for a fact 2.
Go ahead.
Brianna,
Stewie could never ever not be on the UConn Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
she went there. She went there. She said, "I'm here to win 4 national championships." She did it. Diana Taurasi, the Kobe of the female game at the time, and then Maya Moore.
Okay.
Those 3 can't be moved.
Okay.
So I was watching the facility, and they said Paige Beckers, because of her years there, and now she has one. Now that she has one, she gets to be that 4th face and replace Sue Bird. Even though, hear me out. Even though Sue Bird has 2. Sue Bird has 2, but Sue Bird was also not the gal on the teams, but she was the point guard. She was still super tough. But they said Paige replaced her, and then I thought to myself, oh snap. That's the only spot that can be replaced in my position, in my opinion. And I think it will continue to always be replaced. Because I think in 4 years, Paige Beckers will be replaced by Sarah Strong.
But then when you say
the other three can't move. They can't move.
But in basketball, you don't do Mount Rushmore and only name 4. You got to name 5 because it is 5 positions.
It's 4 Mount Rushmores. It's 4 people on Mount Rushmore.
No. I understand that. I'm just saying, like, when you name an all-time list for basketball, though, you normally list 5 because it's 5 positions.
But when they say the word Mount Rushmore, you're only allowed to pick 4. You only allowed to pick 4. It's on Mount Rushmore.
I will say this.
Look at your face. I love confusing you because
I can't put Paige over Sue. I'm sorry.
Hey, we ain't even mentioned the Rebecca Lobos of the world. Like we ain't even mentioned
that's what I was.
People, like it's people that went to UConn that we like. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sarah Strong's better than what Rebecca Lobo was, and Rebecca Lobo is an all-time great.
Yeah.
So that's what's scary about this. I don't think the 3 that I don't think they can move, yo. Stewie can never not be. That's like Michael Jordan not being on the Mount Rushmore of basketball.
I don't know. You forget him. Dang. What's her name?
Nafisa Collier.
Yes, Nafisa. We forgetting Nafisa, yo.
And again, think about what I'm saying, Chip. All I'm saying is so many of them.
Yeah.
That my God, so many people will be left off because there are 3 that can't move. Do you agree with my 3? Do you at least agree with my 3?
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Yeah,
Razi.
Yeah, Maya don't move.
They can't move
Maya
off
has
of
an argument
the
to be on Mount Rushmore for women's basketball.
Yeah, but I will say this.
Ended too soon. Ended too early though. That's the only reason I think it wouldn't be.
If Nafisa,
that's why I did say has an argument. I ain't say she's in there, but I said she has an argument.
If Nafisa gets real dominant in the W, things can change. Yeah. That's what I will say. It remains to be seen.
I want to say this before we switch to the men's, though. You do know who would be a freshman right now had that tragic accident not happened? Gigi. Gigi would have been a freshman this season. We would have seen the heir apparent to the Bryant legacy.
Why you had to do that, dog?
Nah, because someone reminded me earlier at work. It's my guy that I work with, right? And I always be my Spanish homeboy, and he loves sports, right? So I be cooking him a lot when we do talk football and boxing. So he looks for anything. You know when somebody you got that you beat a lot in debates and you like shit. So he looks for things to try to be like, I knew this, and Smitty ain't knew.
That's what you mean.
He brought that up to me, and I was like, huh? I was like, it ain't been that long. He pulled it on his phone. I said, oh shit, she would have been playing at UConn this year too, because Coach Gino had already offered her a scholarship. I was like, damn.
Hey, Chip, talking about NIL. Gigi would have broke the bank.
You hear me? Let me get. I need. You already know. You already know. And I want to see it happen, man. I get excited for things like that. I get excited when I see them get paid like that, bro.
You know what would be crazy? If LeBron's daughter actually be the best out of all his kids in basketball and she goes to school to play.
That'd be wild.
You stupid.
What do you think her NIL would be?
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
You see what they gave Bronny. You see what they gave Bronny. He only averaged like 4 points in college. But that's my guy. He is an NBA player, y'all. Don't tell me my man Bronny not an NBA player. He is an NBA player. Oh man. So again, man, the girls tournament was phenomenal in my opinion. Please continue to support girls basketball. Female basketball, I apologize.
Women's.
It's growing. It's growing. It may not be as spectacular as many highlights, and you're not going to see a 360. Nobody going to get dunked on.
You going to see? Hey, you going to see?
They out there playing.
You going to see basketball play.
You see,
you ain't going to see 53s before halftime. I know that.
They played great basketball. Ezzy Fudd went to work. You see the in and out crossover almost made the girl. Oh man.
She buckled bad. She buckled bad.
Buckled her. Come on, man. They got game.
She buckled bad.
I just want to give them love. I just want to see them get that. Go ahead, youngest. Get paid, young. Get paid.
Get paid. Get paid. Oh, what happened? Oh, there you go.
There you go.
All right.
Froze. Oh, he unfroze. There you go.
Let's move.
H-Town let me down.
Before we get to H-Town, I'd like to say thank you, Duke Blue Devils, for making sure that my North Carolina Tar Heels still has one more championship than that ugly school that's right down the street from the Tar Heels.
And thanks, y'all, for making Cooper don't have a potential of getting hurt before he comes to Philadelphia, y'all.
Yeah, you stupid if you think he coming to Philadelphia.
I keep hope alive. I ain't got no hope for the season.
Why would you hope for somebody to end their career like that? This Final Four, man.
I don't know.
On the girls' side, we saw pure dominance. We saw 2 blowouts in the Final Four, and we saw a blowout in the championship. On the boys' side, it was a little different. We saw some of the worst collapses in basketball history in those 3 games.
We've seen some Doc Rivers basketball.
Let me just remind you of one of them. So as you guys know, Duke faced Houston. Had Houston pretty much the whole game. Houston decided to start pressing. Duke started to get a little shaky. Duke loses the game. Then you flip the page, and you got Florida and Auburn. Auburn controlling the game all game. They blow it. Florida wins that game. And then up just when you think we can't see another blown lead, we saw one of epic proportions. Houston blowing a 12-point lead in the national championship
game.
And we now have for the 3rd time in the school's history, Florida are the national champions. So congratulations first to the Gators. Before we get into the games, I want to congratulate the Gators on their 3rd national championship. Much deserved. They are clearly a program that shows that getting somebody in the transfer portal, paying them correctly, could equate to a championship. So hats off to Florida, man. I would have loved for it to be my team, but I ain't a hater. I ain't a hater at all. So congratulations to Florida. But man, what y'all think about this bad basketball we saw in the second half from some of these teams?
I say H-Town in that national championship game, Florida gave them that game because Florida was taking some of the most terrible shots. They was just catch shooting, and missing them. They gave H-Town a chance to push it to the point where you can't come back. And then I dozed off for a second, woke back up. I said, oh, shit, H-Town's still up. Okay, I had H-Town winning. It's going to – the next thing I know, Florida just pressed it out. And
well, that was just straight up resiliency, man.
Yeah,
the fact that Florida was
I can't – it's like nothing else you can say. They just did not doubt.
I doubted them. So my boy hit me up at halftime and said, hey, you think I should finish watching this game or you think Florida just out of it? I said, honestly, I think Houston took their heart. I feel like as I'm watching this first half, not just the score. It looks like Houston may have taken Florida's heart. Yeah, this is probably over. I apologize. I was wrong. I was big wrong. That team came out and played their asses off in that second half.
Yeah, I didn't think that they got their heart taken or anything like that. In fact, one of the biggest reasons why I picked Florida to win is because I felt like they had an advantage with Elijah Martin being on that team, coming from FAU, already been in the Final Four. So I felt like he had the experience and he kept his composure. He didn't even have a great game. He just kept his composure and was just resilient, like you said. And I thought that game it came down to the resiliency. Like, and it happens like that. Like, you see that almost every year. I mean, you can go back to Chris Webber calling the timeout in the clutch. You know what I'm saying? Like, pressure bust pipes in that clutch. You know what I mean? And, it's good. That's what college basketball is all about, them competing at the highest level. And, that's unfortunate that they didn't even get a shot up. You know what I mean? But hats off to UF and that program. And if you ever been to Gainesville, I know, me being in Gainesville, this is what they saying. You better know about them Gators. You better know about them Gators. Them Gators, you better pick them Gators. You better get those Gators.
I hate the Gators doing football. The fall time, I hate the Gators.
Man, listen. I will tell you, they support them
BG,
Gators.
I don't want to hear your face. BG, I don't want to hear. Hey, Chip, I hate the Gators in the fall time. Look, I ain't got no button to mute BG right now, so BG gonna get off with it.
I do. He only hate the Gators because his football team had one win last year.
Who is football team?
So now he want me to. You want to unmute me now so I can answer his question, huh?
Who your football team, bro?
Bobby Bowden. I'm just say that. Bobby Bowden.
Florida State?
Why you make that face when you say it though, Chip?
Because you said Bobby Bowden. Like, he ain't the reason why y'all only won one game. Don't mention his name with the one game. Like, how dare you? How dare you do such a thing?
Hey, that's like the Spurs saying. That's like somebody saying Greg Popovich. Like, he ain't the reason y'all losing. Damn sure ain't the reason.
Come on, man.
That's the only reason he really don't like Florida. But that was a great national championship game, man. I really loved it. I was, like I said, I know I'm biased, and I loved it the most because Duke wasn't in it. But
Cooper Flag ain't had no chance to get hurt, so he'll be draft ready. And the Sixers,
Cooper Flag played every bit of one game, and you talking about him had a chance to get hurt. He played all the rest of the games. Smitty?
Listen, man, don't kill my dream. Let me be hopeful, man. Let me be hopeful. Then be there is over, so let me be hopeful.
They talking about it. He might not come out and enter the draft.
Hey, come on. Hey, Coach, mute him.
Like, when you is you gonna let me run my podcast, Chip? Fuck it. We just gonna go straight to it because I wanted to ask you this question. I didn't want to give you no script. I just wanted to ask you this question because we had this conversation. Do you think the taste of that loss could convince him?
Yes.
I don't think. I'm gonna be real with you, Chip.
He don't need the money.
A lot of things we've disagreed on a lot of things, but the one thing I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on. I don't think you can convince a talent like Cooper Flag, hey, stay and build your name at Duke. It's hard to do him. I'm not saying other players, but I think him. So I disagree with that. But me and you the same person. I've been an athlete my whole life. Don't nothing make you want it more than having it right there
and losing it.
Right.
Ooh, don't nothing drive you more.
Right.
Do you think it was enough? Do you think maybe?
So before you answer that, Chip, he don't need the money.
He don't need the money. This is exactly what I mean about investing in you. You have to learn how to be a leader and go through your process. So if you're going to already make rookie money, which he's going to ask for it. Like I said before, he's going to ask for it, and he gets rookie money to stay at Duke and be the face of college basketball. He ain't gonna do nothing but build college basketball. You might as well take that time, work on you, and dominate. He didn't dominate college basketball. He didn't dominate. He showed
He
that
was just clear. I get what you're saying. He was just clearly the best player, but
he just showed that he was one of the best players. He showed that he was one of the best players. He definitely showed that.
NBA ready game.
He showed that he got NBA ready game, but he didn't dominate it. He didn't Chris Webber dominate it. He didn't Jalen Rose dominate it. He didn't Grant Hill dominate it. He didn't do that.
Carmelo, none of them.
He definitely didn't mellow. He didn't mellow it. He didn't show that he was mellow.
I don't think he needed to show that he was mellow.
I don't think he needed.
He was Cooper Flag all year though.
That's cool.
This is the one time you're gonna get me to talk good about a Duke player, so you better take advantage. But he was Cooper Flag all year.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, Cooper Flag. He's the next best thing all year. Yeah, but he did not dominate this. Grant Hill was flat out the best. Like, listen, you didn't have no doubts. You didn't have no doubts. Okay, like.
You're moving the goalposts because I'm not asking you. Did he dominate?
No.
I'm asking you.
Should he stay? I don't think he. I think if I'm being biased, I think he should stay. Take that money.
Don't be biased. Don't be biased. See, that's what I don't want you to do, Chip.
No.
I want you to be realistic.
I'm being real.
I want you to be realistic.
I'm being
tell
real.
me what's the right thing for a college athlete to do because I know you know that answer, Chip. I know you know that answer.
Right.
I want you to be realistic with I was about to say 19. The kid's 18-year-old kid.
Right.
About to get dangled everything in the world in his face.
Right. Don't do it. Don't go to WWE when you got the real thing. Don't be so quick to go to WWE when you got the real thing.
Hey, I'm going to say this just to lighten the mood up. Hey, you know what'll be funny? As a Sixers fan.
You think we was beefing for real?
No. I know. But this is what'll be funny as a Sixer fan. We did all this tanking, and we do get the #1 draft pick, right? And Cooper Flag stays his ass in college.
That would be wise for Cooper.
The BG just got mad even thinking of that. That'll be typical Philadelphia
think the Sixers is cursed. I don't think we're keeping our pick. I don't think we're going to get our pick.
I think we get it. I just don't think it's going to be worth what we just went through. But, I mean, it is what it is. But I just wanted to bring that up. That would be a typical 76ers fashion. Other than your draft pick getting hurt this rookie season, us getting the first overall draft pick, and Cooper Flag choosing to say, you know what? I want that national championship.
I'll say this, though. Shout out to Coach Sampson from Houston, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
I met him one time. Actually, I met him. I think it was like 2018 in San Antonio. The last time Final Four was in San Antonio. But he said some cool things over the break. Over this time, he was in his interviews talking about the Black College Association, like the Black Coaches Association. Every year in the Final Four, they have all the Black coaches. They go to these meetings and they talk, and he wants them to be taken seriously. And I remember going to one, and it was before I was actually coaching high school. I just started coaching high school, and I went to one, and it just stuck out to me for him saying, he want more Black athletic directors, more Black coaches in power. And I'm waiting for that, man. Like, we need that. We need that.
It's coming.
It's coming because a lot of them players that we grew up watching play, they slowly but surely coming through the ranks from high school.
But it don't need to be slowly.
So it's coming along. Don't worry. I say, me personally, you asking me to put a time on it, it's 2025. I say about by 2030, we're gonna see a lot of them. That's a 5 more year wait. But if you think about it in them 5 years, think of all the athletes that you watch on social media, the YouTubes and all that, and you see them, they camps they run in the high schools that they run or they help out with, the college programs where they go in at the summertime and they help out with. you can see that the culture slowly shifting to a lot of those players, a lot of these former players being coaches.
Man, 5 years from now, gonna be too late.
What do a lot of these former players look like?
But you can't say that, because that would be assuming that teams are just firing coaches just to hire us.
I mean, shit.
I don't think people. I don't think
the Nuggets just did to Mike Malone.
The craziest shit in the world, but I just don't. I do want it to be fast too, Chip. I do want it to be fast too, but then that would be saying, oh, I think people should get fired just because.
That's why I give it a 5 year.
I don't think people should just be fired. And in college, they don't just be fired. In college, they move around. They move. So when there's a vacant spot and they move, you replace them with the right guy. You don't have to fire nobody. They move around all the time. It happens. I definitely want to see more black athletic directors for sure.
Absolutely.
We don't even see those at all.
I want to see it in college basketball. We slowly seeing it in college football. We see how it's starting with Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick, and hopefully that can elevate them into getting into some power.
It's nowhere near enough. It's not even close to enough.
Not nowhere near enough, but it's a start. That's why I said if you want me to give you a timetable, I said hopefully by 2030.
Yo, what was Allen Iverson coach name again? Thompson.
John Thompson? How you don't know John?
I know. I'm thinking of that. I got to think back so far. When you want to tell me it's 2025, do you know how long ago he was coaching? And we were saying we wanted to see more black coaches. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. I got to go back way back then. You talking about 5 more years? I ain't trying to hear 5 more years. I'm gonna hear right now.
I gotta ask y'all a question. How was John Thompson as a coach? I gotta ask both of y'all.
John Thompson was all that. He was just like a John Chaney, in my opinion.
BG got the joke. That's why he said it.
He's trying to call us old again, Chip.
I know how John.
How old are you, Smitty?
I know
he's right behind us.
I'm only 35. I ain't that.
He talking about I'm only 35, nigga. You old.
You old.
Yo.
Nah, man. John Thompson and John Chaney. Those are two coaches I respect. John Chaney, that goes without question, respect. And you know, it's crazy. When I was younger, I didn't like John Chaney because I used to feel like he is a dirty coach. But I remember I said that one time in front of my mom, or I said it in front of my pop, somebody, and they backhanded me and said, "Don't you ever disrespect John Chaney, boy." Don't
play around with John Chaney.
No. And then I said something about John Thompson, and my aunt, she sat me back and said, "Don't you ever disrespect John Thompson either." I said, "Man, what is wrong with y'all?" But then as I got older and I fell in love more with sports, I understood why, sort of like what you were just going into, Coach Green, about John Chaney, for one, Philadelphia, and John Thompson, DMV area. But just them two, with them two, it went past the areas. It's what they did for the communities, for the schools that they were coaching in, and then them also what they represented. Just being two strong African American males that was in a field where we didn't see that too often.
Yeah, definitely. We gotta get this.
I get what you saying, Coach Green. Me and BG get you, but that's why I said 5 years, 2030, because that's more realistic. I think just because
I ain't never hear no shit naive. It's saying realistic. That's being realistic.
I mean,
realistically, if we being realistic,
trust the process.
If we being realistic, but over 70% of these athletes.
Oh yeah.
Okay then.
And football and basketball, NBA,
but that's still unrealistic for it to just change for the coaching landscape, for the athletic directors, for the people that are in charge. It's unrealistic to think that can happen in less than 5 years, Chip. Because what are we just supposed to just fire everybody? But like the good teams coaches.
All I'm gonna say. Yeah, but all I'm gonna say to this is this. If we really want to evolve and we really want college sports to be where it's going to go, you're going to have to treat us better. You're going to have to. I'm telling you, like,
I'm going to be honest. I think we'll see more black. It's messed up because My uncle, he's the one that got me into liking women's sports, right? And he said it though, but I'm gonna have to go against what he told me. He said he doesn't like men being head coaches in the WNBA and in college women's basketball because he wants the women to be able to show that they can coach, right? He said it feels like if they're going to be coached for women's basketball, they should coach for high school to help develop them and get them ready for the bigger levels of college and the WNBA. But I might have to go against you because I think if we want to see more of a shift, like what you want to see sooner, shift, like in a more like year or two frame, I think they would have to go to the WNBA or college women's basketball to African American coaches to get them opportunities right off the bat. Because the men's league is not going to happen. That's why I said 5 years.
I mean, it's not going to happen with that type of mindset. Definitely not. But because, and I don't mean it in no harmony.
No, I know what you mean it, and it's just that you saying.
Yeah, you can't be that way. It's like, and even in the girls' game, they're not looking for African American male to be head coaches. I mean, that's very rare. They really looking for. They let the women do it before African American male. You know, and whatever, however it want to go. I do want to see more of us. Like, again, I understand the war between the players and coach in college basketball. I understand the disconnect. I understand the bad locker rooms. I understand being in a bad situation with a coach. I understand all of these situations, and I understand, like, these coaches need to be replaced. A lot of them need to be replaced. College basketball has the most wasted talent in these last 10 years out of any sport. College sports.
I'm about to say college sports.
College sports.
Because me and BG can make an argument. We've seen a lot of college football players as well.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be a dog, and we.
But just talking basketball, like, they waste so much talent, and I say wasted over pettiness.
What you think's about to happen with these NILs though? We're gonna see a lot more wasted talent because these young bulls is gonna chase a bag more than chase a fit, where the bag come with the fit.
They going go with the bag. They going to go get the bag, and you can't be mad at that.
I'm not gonna be mad.
And you just they just gotta make sure they do gotta ask questions, and they gotta make sure they're in the right situations, and they gotta know what the work ethic is for the number that you asking for.
What you mean? Explain that.
So I always, when I'm training people, I always ask them, my clients is, so all right, you want $1 million contract? Do you understand what the work ethic is for that? Like, I had a kid, you know, and when I was talking to him, I'm like, yo, how often you hit the gym? He's like, yo, we do our workout. I'm in the gym at least 3 hours every day. And I'm like, you want $1 million? You think, how much you think you're supposed to be in there for $1 million? He was like, no more than 3 to 5 hours. Boy, you out your damn mind. It's 8 to 11 hours, easy, and that's including, if you want to include the film and all of that. That all goes with it. Recovery, that all goes with it. But your day is a 8 to 11 hour day, 11 to 14 hour day of how you taking care of your body and do. This is a lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying? So just understanding that on how to be a professional, how to be introduced to it. You know, just know the work ethic for that. And you could go value, if you value that, you can go get your value. You could go get more money because you're going to be dominant to say, you don't believe me in that, BG?
I believe you. I just think I love college athletes getting paid, but I love the purity of college basketball. My whole life, I've always loved that. And everything you're telling me right now, Chip, is kids setting themselves up for their future, setting their families up with money. I appreciate that, and I understand that. But it just takes away from the purity of college. That, like, hey, know what my worth is and go to 5 different schools. I wouldn't feel the same way.
Because like I said, you're going to lose a lot of talent.
North Carolina, Duke, Auburn, and Clemson. I wouldn't feel right if Tim Duncan went to Georgia Tech,
Wake Forest.
I just don't like I hate to say it because it sounds like I'm against the transfer portal and what these kids getting paid what it means to them. I don't want to give off that impression. I just love the purity of basketball, and everything you telling me right now is know your worth and chase your bag, learn the business, No, I want you to play basketball.
No.
Hardest for university. But that's just me. I'm not saying I'm right, Chip. I just like pure basketball.
Hold on.
Business is for the professional side.
Hold on. Let me help you out.
Let's start playing high school players too.
Let me help you out. The purity of the game was lost when you was taking advantage of the young boys. When the grown men was coming taking advantage. Now, hold on, let me finish.
How were they? No, I can't let you finish because how were they taking advantage of them when they never were getting paid? So what are you talking about?
They was always getting paid. What are you talking about, bro? They was always getting paid. Where you been at?
What he's saying, Chip, he's saying BG, what he's saying is, and I understand.
They're not getting paid legally, is what I'm saying.
So I'm saying to you, hold on. So what I'm saying to you is, you mute yourself. I can't hear nothing you saying. You knocked your mic off.
I know they're getting paid.
No, what I'm saying to you is, you saying the purity of the game. And I'm saying the purity of the game was lost when y'all was already taking advantage of the kids, cheating the kids, and getting money off of them. The purity of the game was ruined then.
Were they cheating the kids in 1950?
Where you been at?
1960. Were they
Yes.
in the 70s?
Yes.
So then the game was never pure, is what you're telling me.
I'm trying to explain that to you.
Pure when they started taking it. Only college basketball I know is the basketball where they didn't get paid, but they played their asses off. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it happened at a specific time. I'm just saying it's becoming all about money, and I don't like that part.
All I'm telling you is, again, you might not like that part, but until you understand what you got to go through every day to get that, is this a different ball game?
But I do understand that. The same way I understand the grind that a high school player has to go through to get to a big D1 school. So should I start paying high school players because of the grind they have to put in to get to a big school?
They already paying high school players.
So should I start paying middle school kids too?
That's about to happen too.
I shouldn't be.
I don't like that.
I just had to say it. I don't mean that I liked it. I just had to say it because I see your face on it.
And you know me. You know I'm not against the NIL or the transfer portal. It's just that's the slight thing. I wish it wasn't so much about, well, now let's go get our bag. I just want my money.
No, it's not about.
I would feel weird if Antoine Jameson went to North Carolina one year, Duke the next year, and then with Georgia Tech, like he just walked up the ACC because people was offering him different bags. They're not professionals yet. Yes, they should be compensated. But when you make it all about the money, I think we lose that love of. I just don't love it, man.
Me personally, I feel like your love should be for college and I think it's sort of. I agree, sort of BG. Save the business aspect for when you get to.
But when you become a pro,
no,
because now
no,
it's your job.
No, and let me tell you why. Because if you don't do it now, there definitely is 1,000% chance they're going to take advantage of you when you're a pro. $1 million chance, a 1,000,000% chance they're going to take advantage of you. Jaylen Brown did an interview today. Well, actually,
you think LeBron ever been taken advantage of?
No, listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying.
There's a 1,000,000% chance when people get the right agents, they don't get up when they get to the NBA.
Who told you that? You do know over 70% of the NBA, when they are done after 10 years, they go broke, right?
Because they stupid.
No.
They money, they fucking dumb.
Okay, excuse me. No, that means that they was taken advantage of. So Jaylen Brown was talking about. He was talking about this today with Gillian Wallow about how he ain't have no agent.
That's why I was just looking.
Yeah, about how he ain't have no agent and how they got to pay their dues to get certain stuff done. Hey man, these people been knowing how they gonna take advantage of you already. That's what I mean. Like, you already gonna mess up a contract. Like, you gonna mess that up. The time to do it is in college. You gonna mess up. You might mess up your freshman or your sophomore year. Not all about money, but it's about what happens is the coaches. It's so much of a disconnect that the players understand that. Look, man, I ain't finna get into no argument with you or no hard confrontation with you. Once lines are crossed, I'm just gonna get my money and I'm gonna go about my business. That's the part that I wish that can change and we can have real conversations, right? But it's such a disconnect between the two. Like these kids actually need coaches that understand them. Not that one. If you look at their staffs, it's always, and I don't mean to, put it out there like that, but it's always a white staff with one black coach or two black coaches. They are assistants that's there to try to relate to the kids, but that's not it. That's not it. That's too.
I get what you're saying on that because he's looking at the kids and look at it and be like,
yeah, like
you get to relate to me, but I don't.
I've been at enough practices.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I've been at enough practices. I've been in enough locker rooms just to understand, like, yo, bro, like, no, it needs to be a connection. We need to be able to grow. We need to be able to see each other 20 years from now. Things like that. You ain't gonna have that no more. No, you're gonna lose a lot of that camaraderie. But until the adults handle it and show the kids how to handle it, then the kids gonna do right. Then they're gonna do college right. You're gonna have a kid like Elijah, who went to FAU. He was at FAU when I was at FAU these last couple years, and now you see him at UF. You're gonna have great programs, but until then, man, no, you're gonna have a lot of disconnect, a lot of wasted talent. You know what I mean? And you're gonna look at the kids like they privileged. No, they should get their value, and the coaches need to get in there and build programs. You hire a salesman, you're gonna get a salesman.
It's hard to build a program. It's hard to build programs when you got so many one and dones, man.
Well, you don't gotta have one and dones if you know how to build. I'm gonna tell you.
And you can know how to build all you want. It's hard in 2025. It was easy to convince Grant Hill. It was easy to convince Christian Laettner. It was easy to convince Tim Duncan. It was easy to convince these guys back then. College meant something to people. College, like winning national championships, like they don't. I'm being real with you, Chip. I don't think these players, they play basketball to want to go to the NBA. Now, that's all they want to do.
We've always did that, though.
But that's their only goal, is what I'm saying.
That's always been the only goal. What you talking about? Like when you walk into the bro.
My era enjoyed the process. I enjoyed my high school years. I enjoyed my college years of playing basketball. They want to hurry up and finish high school. They want to go to college so they can reach that age that they go to the NBA and just go. They don't give a fuck about the process, is what I'm saying. Yes, the goal is the NBA. I'm just telling you that they don't want to go through any part of the process anymore. None of it. They want to just go bake the bag. That's what I'm saying.
But I disagree. And
I want you to go next time you're in the gym. I want you to ask your kids. If you go to I want you to ask the kids you train. If you go to the NBA next week or you go to the NBA in 4 years, which one would you pick?
Hey, that's like a no-brainer question.
Listen to me. Hear me out, because this is Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg is going to the NBA no matter what. Cooper Flagg, you can go in 4 years or you can go now. I want you to ask your kids tomorrow in your training session. I want you to ask them if you can go now or you can go in 4 years. Ask them what they say, and I guarantee you every one of them will say now. Okay. Every one of them. So don't tell me it's easy. Don't tell me it's easy.
Hold on. I'm not saying that it's easy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's just easy and nobody can just pick up and leave like that. What I'm saying to you is I've seen it done the right way. Okay? Again, I always bring up Dusty May because he did it the right way. He was at FAU, which is a mid-major school. They had success. He could have left. He stayed. He stayed another year, made sure all his boys was all good, and they was going to go up the right way, and they all left the following year. They all went to their separate schools, and they all did very well in this season. And that's the right way to do it.
Says you, Chip. But what if I go to a kid and tell him, yo, Tyrese Maxey went to Kentucky. He didn't play amazing, but he played in Kentucky for 1 year, and then he went to the NBA, and he's now just got a super max.
Okay.
So, Chip, this is what I'm saying. How can you say that way is the right way? I can give you an example of what quote unquote is the wrong way, and that man's a $200 million player now. It's hard to tell a kid, don't go chase the two.
No, because
I'm only saying it's hard. I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong. It's
what I'm saying.
Our kids to do, but it's just these kids ain't doing it.
Listen what I'm saying, bro. Like it's so many rules in place now that you can go out of college, you can go play and see where you're going to end up in the draft and then go back to school. Mm-hmm. You don't got to hire an agent, none of that. And it won't be held against you. Back then, it used to be held against you just to even get the tryout. So now you can go see where you at. And that's what Martin did. Martin and Davis did that. They went, they got into the pre-draft workouts, they see where their stack was at, and then they came back to school. You can easily do that now. And you can see where you at and where you fall and go back to school.
Chip, you can do that. But let's just say, Chip, you in your sophomore year, Chip, you decide to put your name in the draft, go do your workout. You have the best day of your life at your workout, which then in turn gets you drafted number 4. But then you don't pan out. I'm telling you, if they have a good day and they just show up, they're going to still keep their name in the draft. And it might hinder their success in the future because they went too soon. But I'm just telling you that every single kid in the United States of America right now, if they could choose the process or not the process, they take it not the process.
Watch this. Everyone. I can easily, you ain't never lied, but I can easily show you Cam Reddish the same way I can show you Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, he got it.
And you can make that money now in college.
The truth about this, I feel the most stupidest whenever someone bring up Cam Reddish because I swore out of him, Barrett, and Zion, he was gonna be the best, and I look dumb as
he was super tough in high school. When they signed Zion, when Duke signed Zion, I was mad. When they got RJ, I was upset. When they got Cam, I was like, fuck. I thought Cam was gonna be nasty, dog. I thought Cam was gonna be nasty.
But what if he was gonna be nasty if he just would have been patient?
He should have stayed another year or two.
See, but that's the thing. I think you think that I'm arguing that it's right. You're right, Chip. I'm just telling you these kids ain't thinking like us. We're adults and we see it. Yeah. They don't realize it. Hey, Marvin Bagley, you weren't ready. Harrison Giles, you weren't ready. Like all the players that went to the big schools and thought they were ready, they weren't ready.
Now.
I know that what you're saying is right, Chip. I'm just saying kids aren't knowing what you're saying is right.
What I'm saying is like this. Like Giles is different because the rules was a little bit different. But now that you can get paid crazy money in college,
Harrison Giles would 100% stayed in.
I ain't leaving. I'm getting this money right here. I'm gonna get this money.
He was the type of talent that definitely was like, hey, I'm athletic, but I don't know if I got an NBA game yet. But I feel like I should be getting paid. He would have stayed in college for sure. He would have stayed.
Like you staying, you getting this money. But see, they got it at that time. You had to go because you needed the money. You had to go. Now that they can pay you legally and publicly, they can pay you. I ain't got to go nowhere. I just got to transfer schools if I want to go make more money. I ain't mad about that.
I won't agree with that statement you just made because we grew up in an era where our stars went to school for 3-4 years.
And got paid.
Our stars went to school for 3 and 4 years.
They got paid too. I don't care what you want to say. I know.
That was a different type of pay.
All right, they got paid. They got paid. I don't care what you want to say. I know them niggas got paid, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
I know too.
Niggas got paid. Like I don't know what you want me to say. Like you can't be sitting there.
It wasn't the.
Right. Like they made so much money. You know what's crazy? I be talking. I was talking to a professor, and he matter of fact, he was a professor at like St. Joe's. When Jameer Nelson was there, and he taught like what is it economics, something like that, and he was just talking about how much money they was bringing in from enrollment, like, and how they had to come to class and how he would feel so sorry for them, like, dang, They bringing in so much money and they don't even get none of it. I was like, yo, that's crazy. But that's why it gotta be like this right now. It gotta be like this, bro. You tripping? They made so much money off the backs of us. Like, yo, listen.
Oh, you're never gonna get me to talk to speak against that point. That point is a fact. That point is 100%.
Yeah, so the college game is as pure as it's gonna get because the NBA game is watered down, baby.
NBA is terrible. I didn't start watching basketball this season, and not even because of the Sixers. I had started watching the NBA, then I was like, what am I watching? This isn't basketball. I see you dudes shooting 53s before halftime. I'll catch up on
I think the playoffs will be good.
The playoffs is gonna be great.
Yeah, I think so too. Because this last month or so been great basketball.
Yeah,
I don't know if the owners called a meeting behind the scenes, and the commissioner said, "Hey, I don't know what the hell y'all doing, but this shit is not basketball and it's messing up our money. Y'all want to keep this contract? Fix it."
No,
basketball's been better for the last month.
The regular season, the beginning of the regular season, is always for the entertainment. Like it's always the show.
Nah, like, this year it was just for the shitter. It wasn't even for the entertainment.
I was about to say, forget the beginning of the regular season. That shit lasted through March.
Damn, it was for the shitter.
Look, they just started playing hard, dog. I feel like they just started competing. I won't say they've been playing hard all season. I feel like the competition has ramped up over the last 2 weeks.
Of course, it's playoff time. So everybody's fighting for positioning. People is fighting for position and people is tanking.
Basketball, like I said, this last
great season.
These last few weeks was amazing. But y'all know I always like to get some closing words for myself. I'm obviously gonna give y'all the floor. But what I will say is, if you got DVR or you got any way to go back and you have a youth athlete, have your youth athlete watch some college basketball, even if they don't play basketball. The camaraderie, the way teams come together, the way teams fought in these 2 tournaments this year, I think was great life lessons for kids. And I sat here with my daughters and made sure they at least watched the Final Four. It was hard to get them to watch the whole tournament, but they watched a lot of the Final Four with me, and I think it helped them grow as basketball players, just seeing what it takes to be a champion. So that's my words to close out for me. Hey man, make sure your kids is learning what it takes to be great, not just you telling them. Let them see the grind that these players go through. So that's all I got. What you got, Smitty?
Man, first and foremost, I want to say shout out my man BG, my old head.
I'm back, dog.
Come on this platform, man. Coach Green, the hardest man to get in contact with in America. It's harder to get an interview out of this guy more than it is these boxers. A guy leave, bro. Like,
you gonna get me this week, Smitty?
Go BG 2-3 weeks ago.
You gonna have to get the flight to Texas.
By then, in between then and now, had an interview. I was supposed to send to BG and be like, "Hey, check us out, man. What you think about us?" And we still ain't done that yet.
It's gonna happen.
So this everybody, I want to tell y'all thank you. But closing words, man, I want to say this, man, for all the old heads, man. If y'all got a youngin out there, man, like BG just said, if you know whether they good at sports and you want to show them the purity, it ain't even got to be sports. If y'all got a youngin out there, man, and y'all see them in something, man, sometimes pull them to the side and tell them you love them, man. Because them 3 words, I love you, can take up that could change a whole person's life. You don't know what someone hearing at home, whether they might not have someone tell them they love you. So just telling them I love you, man, can change someone's life. Coach Green knows that he's a coach. BG knows that he's at all his daughter's games. So you just never know, man. Just telling someone I love you, man. Them 3 words right there can change someone's day. And that day can change someone's life, man.
Absolutely. There's some things that I talked to my daughter about watching that championship game, the girls. I'm at the women's. Be selfless. The hardest thing in basketball to do is be selfless. And I think, that comes from the upbringing. Like BG I always give him the utmost respect for protecting this country. And I was always big because I was brought up by a militant man. My grandfather fought in 2 of them bad boys. So, and he was always big on being selfless, and I know what how he had to be selfless to protect this country. So when I watch basketball and I'm building a program, like that's one of the biggest things I'm building on is being selfless. And like, you know, I always say, you know, Tatum is the best player in the NBA, and y'all be like, why? And I'll be like, because it's hard to be so selfless. When you're selfless, you might have the talent to average 35 points a game and 10 assists and everything else. But when you're selfless, you're going to make sure it's going to be 28, 7, and 7. It's going to be dominant every night across the board, and you're going to be able to give it off to your teammates and everybody else, and your impact going to be way bigger because you were selfless. And so when I talk to my youngins, that's what I like to tell them, like, be selfless. Be selfless. The universe take care of you way more when you're selfless. So that made me think about BG again, because BG always know how much I appreciate him. I never forget the day I saw him, like just in, like when I saw him in Germany, like my eyes.
We ran into each other in Germany.
It lit up. It lit up because it was just a selfless moment, right? Like I am so huge on that. And so watching that championship game, man, it just brought back. So it let me know selfless is what's really in. And if you could be selfless through the chaos, you're going to dominate for a long time. So just be selfless.
That was a little bar there, man. I tried to catch us off guard with the bars just now. That boy been in the lab.
Just so you know, dog, you know. Yo, Smith, if you could have seen it, well, my eyes lit up seeing this food.
I never forget that. I said, hold up. Smitty, because you got to think about it. Like, the last thing you expect to see in Germany is somebody you grew up with.
Yes.
Like somebody from your hood. Like,
from the hood. Nigga, what?
What's going on here? I'm out here. I said, I'm stationed out here.
Nigga, we on.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Hey, man, again, man, I appreciate y'all every time, man. Every time we come here.
I appreciate you.
Love.
Most of the time we got topics, and if it's free flowing, hey, just so y'all know, we ain't talk about nothing before we got on this camera. We just say, yo, we talking basketball, yo. Let's talk. And it felt good, man. I always appreciate having my brother Smitty here with me. I always appreciate having my brother Chip here with me. This is BG, What We Talking About, episode 24, Kobe episode. Don't forget, go to Max, man. Watch that Kobe doc, man. It was really, really good, man. If you appreciated Kobe the athlete, Kobe the person, Kobe the philanthropist, go watch that doc. It was really good, man. And we out of here. Peace.
You're not tuning in with BG from your mobile device, airways, or maybe even your TV. Yeah. The real, the fake, the money, the power, respect. Even tough tops that might just leave you upset. The old, the young, that talk out the side of their neck. What separates just being good from the best? I did what I did, so I really don't have no regrets. Maybe real estate, cause we got a lot to address. Giving people their flowers before they get put to rest. If you disagree, just know that I still want you blessed.
Hey, Dad.
What's up?
What we talking about?